Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Factorio the Charm, where I'm going to make a terminus station. Now the first thing that I'm going to want is I'm going to want to be able to unload this station. I want to know the length of it. So I need some iron. Damn it. Meant to do that before I started recording. Let's go grab a load of iron. Get some signals. The only thing is I don't know how to do two-way signals. If you get my drift. If I go in, do they ignore signals that are backwards to them? Or is a backward signal instantly considered a red, a don't go? I might have to add that on the end of an earlier video, that question, because this is going to be the last episode in a recording session. And I'd rather know the answer when I come back. Like, signals are one way as far as I know. I actually want some steel. So, like, when I've got a signal placed and it's for a train coming this way to give it a signal where it can carry on going straight, if it was going the other way, does it just ignore it? Or does it consider it a red signal? The equivalent if you're on the road and you see a traffic light, you can see the colours, and you see red, amber, or green. But if you come in the other way, you can't see it. So is it a stop sign, or is it, well, I can't see it, you ignore it? Let's do some testing, actually. Station. Here. Rename, because I like to leave the names in of the people who actually named it, but yeah, one. Don't make noises. If you're making noises, it makes me think that it's wrong. And bloody tree. You're now station 2. And you, I want you to go to 1 and then 2. Let me jump in first. Go. Okay, 2 then 1. No wait time. No wait time. No, stop. I didn't actually want you to remove, I want you to stop, but... Okay, so I know you can get between the two of them. I'm outside of a train. Let's take a signal. And to me, that signal's currently in the... Yeah, Right, you go 1 to 2. Do us a favour, wait 10 seconds at both of these, just so you're waiting a little bit, but not for the whole time. Let me jump out. If this doesn't work, if after 10 seconds he didn't go back up there, then another 10 seconds he can come back down here, it means my terminus design, which is basically 2 stations and the crisscross, and then straight line, so no matter which way you're coming in, this line or that line, well, it'd be in this line, out that line, and this line can get to both of them, and that out line can get to both the stations. No, it's no path. So the back end of a signal is a no path. If I was to put one at the other side directly... Oh, so you can pair them up to make a double signal. I didn't start a timer. So the terminus station should work. Just want to double check that he's going to go back again. Yeah. Don't get run over, but get in. Good. Stop the train. Get out. Now, let's say I started the crisscross here. That'd be there. Let's pick up the entire train. This cannot be mined. No, I'm afraid there was nothing I was clicking on there that couldn't be mined. I mean, the equivalent would be here and here. We'd have straight track also running like this. That'd be the sort of minimum length. I might go back to this is the track width, actually. Oh no, that's not going to work, because I'm not doing it for the right length of the train at the minute, but I just want to figure it out. To unload properly, you know, to load or unload properly anyway, let's get these wordings right, we need a certain amount of space, which is U, box, U, belt. And that's at a minimum. Most likely, actually, it's going to be at least 2 belts coming in. Should mean another 2 belts. Inserter, box, inserter, and then track. Which means this crossover is going to take up a lot more space. If it even fits. But you can see how cute that little station would have looked. If there was room for like a full station in between here, but there's not. Thankfully, though, this is one of the original whip sizes that I decided to choose. I can't remember whether that is this. It's not. This is clearly wider. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. This was one of the... That might end up being the width. But how do I make this work? This crossover? I mean, it looks nice and pretty like that, but it doesn't give me room for the stations. So you're coming up here. And eventually... I can't go full up and then S back round. That takes up too much space. But that would work. So let's push this back a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is still diagonal, that's still diagonal. That also works. So then with a straight line on here. That's not the way I wanted to lay it. Here we go. Do the equivalent to the other side. Can I keep these on here, please? think that's in line. I can't even remember how many diagonal pieces it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you. And that should be straight. There we go! It means... Actually, no. Then I don't... Because I'm doing 2 tracks into this... As I'm driving my car... Coming down here, up there. Now... We're going up this side. Which means... The signals are actually on the inside of a track. And it shows you which way they're pointing to go. Like this here is showing the train will go that way. This here is showing that all trains will go out this or that. So this is not needed. Apparently I'm shy one here. Piece of straight track. And then because you're going to be on the inside as well, this isn't the final placing of these signals, by the way. It's just so I can get a gauge. It means you're not needed. Because this isn't a... Yeah, that's not your way in. You're going up, you're coming down. You're going up. So yeah, this is going to want... that tree to get out of the way. To go there. That's 1, 2. No, that's not 1 too long because it's going to be used on the other one. You connect up here. A little straight bit there. You're going to come across this way. And although this, I've decided now that I want this width, not this width. But I'm just sort of building that so I can get the rough idea in my head of how it works. And then by the end of this episode, I'll at least be able to tell you how it's going to work in principle. Type thing. I'm pretty sure that's the right width. And then this is going to go... here and... there. This would so not work in Transport Tycoon. So let's get some signals up. And then I may end up resorting to taking a screenshot that zoomed out and drawing on this with... Right, so that would be clear if you two are clear. Once you've got round the corner, that's clear. You don't want to be crossing this. Unless they're clear. Screw it, let's rework this at the correct width. So 2, 1, 2, 1. So that's a width that I'm actually expecting to use. There we go. Seems to go up a lot higher than what I remember it. Okay, dig you up. So theoretically I could still put one of them stations in the middle like I was on about. But clear you up. Actually, that inner track might get used for something else. There's a minimum distance you can do with an S-bend, and I might be able to use the S-bend to work as a buffer for the corner, so I can get it off the track. Yes. I'm going too far down the Transport Tycoon rabbit hole here. You see how this, at the moment, the train won't fit in this corner here, will it? If I was to get that full train, but if I was to pull this back enough, it's like, gonna need room for the signal. So what's a minimum I can get the signal away here? It's there. And I'm hoping that placing them that close will work. And Root, I'm going to be sending you this save once it's done. And go, this is how a train network should be. But guys, need your help first. Right, so we know roughly how that's going to look, or how it would look at a minimum. There's the one straight bit of track. I'm hoping that's for one straight bit of track for this to come off. Then something like this. Leave enough room for the train. And then S-bend back in. I don't actually know if I've left enough room for the train there, but just so you guys can see what I'm thinking. Clunky interface. Right, now the train effectively can go out of either of these stations, which they're stations. Let's get their signals on. Which they're on the same square. That needs to be pushed back one. Damn it! These aren't working. These aren't placed properly at the minute. I just worked that out. Yeah, this is where the stations start. In and out. Trains can come you're going up. So this is the exit. And we'll want something similar on this one. And Transport Tycoon would have over-unders here so that you didn't get these annoying little bits of segments, but that can't be helped, unfortunately. So we'll have you come in as the S-bend as well. No, wait. You're not going to be going up, are you? I'm probably only going to be able to get these feeder things in on the side, which... Do I just need to build a full-on cloverleaf of this design? Like, whatever length I've got this stretched out here. I mean, I was using just that bog standard circle thing as my junction. And the idea was I'd put down a four-way junction everywhere and just not use parts of it. So knowing this is my station entrance, and then that's the station, and, you know, This is all the belts that need to come in to work it. These inner belts here will eventually both do something like that. So that then they're feeding, you know, the back carriages. How much space is my train taking up on this? Let's do a little bit of driving ourselves. If I just load you up with wood, you can still drive you myself, can't, even though the other one doesn't have any. It's just dead weight, yeah. But I don't want to be doing any driving myself. We've learnt I can't drive. So this is just big enough for that train. Now that's saying at the minute that there's no... So inside... Oh, yeah, you're connecting to that track. Then you connect to that. So that's still saying you can leave the station if you're off south. Okay. And that fits, but can I... Actually, does it fit? Can I get the similar signals here? I can. So you only enter this bit here. Actually, I'd probably remove that. But... At least, right, when it's merging like this, I don't mind having this small section which, you know, a train can't fit. Because it'll end up blocking both of them, yes. But the theoretical thing of... Hey, come on. Carriage sitting here. Can I push you? Oh, damn it. I can't push them. Or a train here. Like, they're both saying, oh, I've got, you know, a green light. But as soon as one of these enters the merge, it's not a green light. But I'd like to be able to say that these should only be green lights if this is. I wonder. Power pole. Can I do red and green wire? Can I set up if conditions with wires? Nope. I really want if this red, you red. That way no one would enter this unless this was free. I mean, I can sort of mimic that by just not having this here. And having the next set of traffic lights further enough down so that this can just fit. But so my base is running out of resources. I'm not really rushing, am I? Oh, yeah. Clever. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes, that is all the time that we have for today. I'm glad I worked out the answer to that question, which I was going to put on an earlier episode. but let me know if there's still something that you think I'm doing wrong. Yeah, this is going to be the terminus station, and on each of these sort of size nodes... So you're not probably going to be there anymore. Because although that is the centre of the track that I'm laying it, that wouldn't actually give all of it protection. However, if I was to place you the equivalent of there, but sort of here, that offers enough protection, I think, for the stations as well. Annoyingly, that's connecting at the minute, but you know that I would be avoiding that. Ideally, the build areas will just connect. The reason I was trying to stay in the logistics area meant that anything outside of that, you know, just the main track would be fine and untouched. But because I can't trust the robots to supply these bases, I need the trains to. That means for each of these areas, I need... For each of the areas, I then need a station. If I'm going to do a station, I'm going to do this double station. And I'm going to do them properly. Yeah, one could maybe be input only, one could be output only. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to work it. But having the two stations there and the possibility of mirroring this onto the other side, making this, figuring out this is a junction. In fact, let's just... assume... Run on for another 5 minutes. Let's make the assumption that this just sort of carries on this way. Alright. And I want this as a regular junction, not necessarily going to the train station. Which probably means I'll have to add the station on as a extra. That's enough to demonstrate. I don't really want anything running through here. Yeah, for instance, like this track here, we're going up. And let's get the equivalents on. So you need to get there. Actually, so you're going to run straight through the fucking middle, aren't you? And do you fit? Let's see if we took you... Destroy this. And just did this. You do fit. Right, the equivalent of the left-hand turns or right-hand turns if you're in America, which I must admit, I don't know how many other countries do this, but right, for me, it'd be being able to turn left on a red light. For the people who drive on the wrong side of the road, it'd be the ability to turn right on a red light. You know, when you're not crossing traffic, to me, makes sense. Now, these turning right for me, left for a lot of you, are gonna have to wait for the lights. But I'll be able to put in things like this, so that you can turn on a red light, type thing. I mean, I only want one of you going that way. By doing that, then only one of you going that way. Again, I'd only want them to be able to enter if they can exit. But I can't do that yet. So yeah, you're going that way, you're going that way. The equivalent now would be you Go into here. I don't like this. Need overground, underground stuff. And then... So you've gone to there, you've gone to there, you've gone to there. You... Going to there. Now, unfortunately, that is going to be prone to congestion. But they're only the people not turning the nice easy way, like the equivalent of that. Which I might be able to just make a straight corner. In fact, I'd probably have to. But yeah, with no over or underground, that sort of has to be a thing. I wouldn't want a signal here, because then they'd most likely stop there. Okay. We know that's about the right height. So let's demolish this. This cannot be mined. It just bloody well was. So that's the right height. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16. Almost like I planned it. Or it was a fluke. And I know I've already gone on for longer than the 5 minutes I had planned, but I just want to... So would they join up just as a nice, neat, straight line? They probably would. But that takes up a lot of space. Well, technically, actually, it takes up less space, but... if you guys get what I mean, it takes up a wider footprint. It's probably going to take up less space than what I'm going to do, but the footprint is larger. So instead, if we bring you guys on that first curve possible there, and try for a corner like this. It also artificially increases the length in case you have a longer trains on your network than I'm going to have. That's not connected then. Oh no, it is. Yep, just had to get rid of some of the diagonal tracks. I'm just getting rid of them for... Well, I can replace you. So we'll probably have that. It decreases the footprint a little bit. I'd love to do it more. I'd love to run it neater into the corner. I don't think we can do because of the way the corners work. So again, on the signals, it'd be... getting range to actually place them. Right, that's signaling for that track. So that's right into the centre there already. So I probably wanted one back. Because that's what I did here. Actually, that's the equivalent. Maybe back one more. They're not, but I keep them roughly in line like that. Technically, there's more space into the junction here, but that's the first one afterwards, so again, you would have the track. And that would merge in anyone coming around the corner. And that's more than large enough, I think, to fit the training that I was planning. Which, if it is, that might be what I consider my smallest segment, so we might end up making the train slightly longer to deal with that as being the thing. Let's... Oh yeah, because of the way that it's networked up at the minute. And then... yeah, I mean, theoretically... let's get this side signalled up, which is... probably here, there, and here. Yeah, we could go for 5 long, knowing that's the length. The middle's still screwed. That's one block. But there's no way to send them over or under, so... yeah, that's screwed either way. What I could consider doing is... this is where we're separating off to go to turn left. That's our left turn. If I was to separate off at the same point to turn right. So that'd be you. And I'd probably want to... and that's a lot of crosses right near each other. I mean, let's set up the signals. Anyway, how we would do this. It'd be, I'm entering going crazy this way. I'm entering going crazy... no, wait, actually you wouldn't be. You'd be entering. You'd be entering. And you'd be entering. Do you think it means I can actually place you one further? Let's pick up a few of the spare ones so I can keep playing around and figure out what we're doing. I do like that I'm going to be able to use it. It's the basic, like, dual track, unidirectional sort of like dual track layout you can do in Transport Tycoon. That's a basic station. And actually, I know a lot of people say in Factorio loops are for noobs, but you tend to, in Transport Tycoon, because the trains can automatically reverse, so the very simplest is straight forward and back, you know, a single straight line. And then the terminus stations are still sort of the same, they're using reverting. On the higher difficulty, your trains can't turn around. I think it is unless they have a 2-train setup like this one. Yeah, they can't turn around. So I'm actually used to building in the loop for the train to get out of the station, as it being more difficult. Why are you guys flashing? Right, I think it's because, like, these are connected. You're still flashing. Why would you flash? That's the equivalent of the I've left the junction point. I've left the junction. I'm entering. I've left. I'm entering. I've left. I'm entering. I've left. Yeah. So I wouldn't like this, but that would work. But basically this is uncontrolled and only one train can ever go through at once. Which I would prefer the straight line. I mean, at the minute, turning right is always going to be the fastest. If you turn right, you know that you're... What you'd think of, you know, going straight on, having priority, turning left in my network has priority. Because you have your own dedicated track to that, whereas straight on and curve doesn't. So if I was coming off there... Let's see, if this was... I know at the minute I've already put that curve in. But let's say this didn't have the curve. Instead, it was the other possibility, which was that straight line. God, I'm surprised that fit. Actually, it does take up more space. I know, it all takes up the same space. Takes up more floor space, but I mean, is it leaving space on the inside here? Because I'm trying to get you to there. Alright, so if this X was moved back to where that joins, I really should have been using the robots for this. Like, that X is something that I'm going to be reusing. But yeah, let's just say that X, I'm trying to picture it in my head, because I'm going to be stopping very, very shortly. This has gone on a lot longer than I planned. But if that X joined up, actually, like here, I know that these are already the right width, so that X as we had designed, let's leave... Right, that would connect perfectly. But let's leave one space for a signal. Which I think could actually be there. Might want to leave two spaces, but for the future. That'd mean an equivalent... be here. And that'd be there. And here. So, let's see, where was I going with this? If that X was at the end of these turnarounds. You kidding me, a tree? That would mean Well, nothing. Because that X is so that we can go from 2-directional to 1-directional. Just said 1 direction. And this isn't enough space to allow for a U-turn. I mean, all that track does there is allow like a train that's coming up to be on the going up on the down track, which is wrong. The down track going onto this one, so then it's this track onto here. But if I was to just run that like this, that way, yeah, there are crosses, but they're less compact. I've already said that you are going to be pushed back. Let's destroy you. Going on so much longer than I had planned, to a point where it might even be worthwhile cutting this into 2 episodes. Okay. I think that should be it. So like here. It's one too many. It's still going to be junctiony to hell, but we're not going to get that point where every train going north-south, let's see, this mess in the middle is no longer needed. Them signals are actually all still needed, just to make sure nobody... Like, you'd stop there if someone was in this, basically, and once you've got out, you'd let them by. That X would only be there if it was then going into a station. This doesn't allow for U-turns, though. Let's just remove that X. And that's for one thing that the circle did allow for, which I liked. Pick you up. I don't think I could work this curved thing in with that also. Because yeah, I couldn't push this curve in any deeper. And unless I wanted to push this up even further... It can be... Oh, it can't be mine because that's on there. Okay, I'll let you off. Have to destroy the train before you can mine it. That's what you're saying. But you're not. You just say, this cannot be mined. Didn't actually mean to remove all of that. It's not built for placing things diagonally like that. Transport Tycoon was the same thing. Building straight was building north-south was so much easier than... Actually, no, because its grid was actually not north-south, it was squares. But diamond squares... It's probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Instead of being there was no, damn it. There was this. There was this. Yeah. So you didn't get north, south, east, west, but northeast, southwest lines type thing instead. So we'll be across here. Just mirroring that design. Definitely have to build in this once. It's going to be the job of a robot. Because I'm not going to be able to build in this multiple times. Right, all of this does fit in range of a roboport, doesn't it? That's not a roboport. It's about as centre as I'm going to get. Just... The station ain't gonna fit though. Okay, my isolated networks aren't gonna be single roboports then. Likely what it will be is... How would I work that then? I mean, just this one junction is taking up the entire buildable area. And my current plan was to tessellate that. So instead... Probably... No, need to get you powered. Okay, you're charging good. Won't be charged. I know you've got power. Good. Probably going to do my chunks as sort of 9 roboports working together. Again, you're going to want power. Don't worry about it, with great power comes with great responsibility. And I think something like that... Do I have another roboport? No. Must be one to the south then. Yep. Let's place the equivalent over there where the station was originally planned. Oh, that's annoying. I've already pushed back where the station would be though, so this isn't actually where the station was. Yeah. I can probably fit the station in there. So starting off with 5 roboports for each chunk, although if I don't want to turn a particular way, I don't have to. Oh god, you're not powered. Oh, they're not powered. Even freaking better. Come on, reconnect, charge up. I mean, I will leave straight segments. And sticking outside of this plus, you know, I'll run the track so that it goes outside of a logistics area, even when there's not going to be a station there. So I'm going to need a hell of a lot more blueprints. But that's a start. I can blueprint up and start work on that one. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes, that's all the time we have for today. This episode's gone on way, way, way too long. Hopefully, that's explained it. I mean, annoyingly, that's still a lot of crossovers here. I mean, you're going up. So we'd move you to there. That's the I've just left the network. Ideally, I'd like that to be the length of the train. Because I don't want it stopping here. I really want to be able to say, you're red. If you're red, you're red. You know, don't enter this unless you can get out. Factorio wire conditions for rail signals. I mean, I know they're working on more stuff to do with the signals. Not the signals, with the... they're not Factorio water conditions. Railway signals, block signals. Matter whenever the signal looks into the forward direction of the next block. If there is a connection, a train on it, then it switches to red. This is how it would switch to yellow. The train needs some distance to stop. You can see the distance by going into the debug. With increasing speed, the distance gets longer. All signals in the direction of the train's path within the distance are switched to yellow. First comes, first serve. Yellow signals connected to the side of the track exactly like if the train is on it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's no wire conditions for them. I do like how it points you to the Transport Tycoon wiki. Open Transport Tycoon wiki to explain how to use these. It's just, you can't, like, that crossover that I built, is it still up here? No. But yeah, that went from here, swooped there, and here, swooped there. Can be built in 2 squares in Factorio. Not Factorio, in Open Transport Tycoon. A train is always half a block, and diagonal is half, which you can sort of see it doing it here. I mean, that actually places it as a full one. once you've got... Like, you can see it's really only placing half of what it shows there. Compared to the full one, if I was to do this, it still places the full. Just the graphic overlays that a little bit longer. It's more clever graphics to make it look pretty. You know, for instance, again, back in Transport Tycoon, you'd end up with these two tracks would be in a line there, so it'd cut off there. And it'd look weird. Because you're like, well, why does that track go longer? You know, you don't build railroad track like that. So the graphics are sorted on this. But... Transport Tycoon has a lot more complicated... Anyway, I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.